There's a friend of mine that I have who has started his own business, and he's actually pretty successful. And when you're talking about becoming an entrepreneur, that means that you have to have certain things about you. If your goal someday is, I want to own my own business. Now, the number one way that businesses start in the United States, for instance, is small business ownership, is entrepreneurs. That you have all of these little, it could be a shop, it could be a factory, it could be, like my friend's a physical therapist, it could be in the medical field, but you're starting your own business. So there's risk involved in this. There's a lot of risk. You have to have confidence in yourself and know that, okay, this is going to take work. And a lot of times, and I'm thinking my buddy, that it took him a long time to really organize not just what he wanted to do and exactly where is the business going to be located, the financial backing that he needed to start it, which means a lot of times if you're an entrepreneur, unless you're rich, which a lot of times is not the case, you have to start in debt. You have to go get the financing, usually from a bank, and to start your business. So right there, you're kind of hoping that this is going to work, but that's where you've got to have a plan. You have to have the confidence in yourself that this is going to work. This is going to be okay. Now, a lot of times, that means you're also going to have to be self-motivated, that nobody else is going to be there pushing you on. You may have friends and family, sure, but really this is all about you, and this is about you securing what you need to make your business successful. So again, referencing my buddy that started his own business, and again, he's successful. When he started, well, the first thing he had to do was secure the financing. He knew what business he wanted. He knew what type of business, physical therapy, but then he had to go figure out how much that was going to cost. And it's not just the cost of the building, but it's also how many employees do I need? What equipment do I need? And so when you're talking about self-motivating, he has to make sure all the ducks are in a row. And because it's really all on you when you're an entrepreneur. This is all on you, which goes to another facet of this. You have to be independent. So if you are heavily reliant on others, well, can't say that that's really a good trait to have for an entrepreneur. You have to have confidence in yourself, but also the ability independently to make decisions. That this is where this business needs to go, or this is what I have to do to make this business operate. And so you're going to have to understand that there are sacrifices you're going to have to make. Could be sacrifices to your time, could be sacrifices to your finances, but you're going to have to take a risk here. And in the end, your name's on it. So that's a big part of this as well. So you have to be independent, you have to be self-motivated, and you have to be knowledgeable in what you need. So when you go into the bank, for instance, for a small business loan, you can't just simply walk in and say, I would like to start a physical therapy business. I need $500,000, please. Thank you. You need more than that. You need to know, this is where I plan to put the business. This is how many employees I'm going to have. And in this market, I think that this business would be successful because the bank isn't just going to hand you the money. They need to know that this is a good investment. Banks, when they loan, they're investing in you. You're paying back the loan, but you're paying it back with interest. That also is a part of being an entrepreneur. When my friend started his physical therapy business, I remember him looking at me and saying, man, Todd, you don't want to know how much debt I'm in right now. Because again, he was starting out, and starting out, he had to go get a small business loan. And I said, yeah, but you're going to be all right. And he had confidence. And he said, yeah, it's just going to take me some time. But if I do this the way I think I can, in about 10 years, I should be able to be debt-free. Hopefully, if the business goes the way I think it's going to go. He was debt-free in 7 years, not 10. So he had a plan already in place. Did he live in a big lavish house? No. And because he had a plan in place of what he needed to do in order to get the business where he wanted to go with it. So entrepreneurs, you're free thinkers. And I really respect my friend that does this, because what he's been able to build, he had a vision for it. And he had the guts, the self-confidence to actually decide, okay, he could have worked for another business as a physical therapist. He decided he wanted his own physical therapy business. So taking that risk and understanding it is a risk, and he's married. So it wasn't just him. It was his wife as well. So we're taking a risk in this, but you have to have a plan, you have to have a vision, you have to know how you're going to get there. And in the case of if you need loans to make that happen, well, how soon then, what do you need to do to make the business successful in order to pay off those loans and not have that burden? How many employees do you need? Are you going to offer benefits to your employees? What would that look like? All of this goes into starting your own business. And what about if it's product? What about the product that you need to make your business run? My friend, the physical therapist, had to get machinery in order to make that happen, technology. And so how much does that cost? All of that goes into planning to be an entrepreneur. It's exciting, and it really is what makes America go. America really runs on small businesses, on people that have ideas and they start their own businesses. Really, that's a lot of the bulk of American business, American economics. So, but if you do that, you have to have independence, be able to make decisions on your own. You have to have the self-confidence that I can do this. This is something that I want. And then, of course, you have to have the vision to make that happen. So if you've ever thought of starting your own business someday, those are the type of steps. It may seem overwhelming now, but those are the type of steps. You take one step at a time, and it starts with creating that vision of, I think this is where I want to go, and okay, how do I actually make that happen? Understanding that it all is ultimately with your name on it and driven by you. So becoming an entrepreneur can be very exciting, and like my buddy, the physical therapist, he's incredibly successful and happy, but it took a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication and sacrifice and vision on his part to make his business run. We'll see you next time.